If you were really plugged into PC RPGs back in the late 90s and early 2000s, chances are you got totally hooked on Might and Magic. These were massive first-person, party-based RPGs where you'd assemble your squad and get lost in huge open worlds packed with secrets, quests, and danger around every corner. That whole thing, it came straight from the mind of John Van Caneghem, JVC, the legend behind it all. He created Might and Magic and founded New World Computing, this studio that didn't just give us the main RPG series, but also blessed us with Heroes of Might and Magic, the turn-based strategy spin-off that became a classic in its own right. But for a lot of fans, it was the RPGs themselves, especially Might and Magic 6, 7, and 8, that really hit home. Those games gave you freedom to build your party any way you wanted, dive into deep character builds, and unleash all kinds of powerful magic. Combat was mostly real-time chaos, but you could hit a key and instantly switch into turn-based mode whenever you needed to get tactical. It had this unique vibe, mixing medieval, fantasy, ancient sci-fi tech, and mysterious worlds that stuck with players for years. Fast forward to today, and it's been over 2 decades since a proper new Might and Magic RPG came out. Ubisoft owns the rights now, but the series hasn't seen much love. For a long time, it felt like that golden era was just gone. But here's the twist. Heroes of Might and Magic is making a comeback with a new project called Olden Era from Unfrozen, the same devs behind Aratus, Lord of the Dead. And it's not Ubisoft. This looks like the spiritual successor fans have been waiting for, rocking classic pixel art and grid-based tactical combat. That got us thinking. If Heroes can get a second wind, maybe the Might and Magic RPGs deserve one too. And good news, some indie devs are already on that wavelength. So, in this video, we'll check out 3 upcoming games that clearly channel that classic Might and Magic RPG spirit. These aren't remakes or straight clones, but they've got that soul. First-person exploration, party-based gameplay, deep class and skill systems, open-world adventuring, hardcore dungeon crawling, and all the magic and mayhem you could want. If you've been craving that old-school Might and Magic feeling, these games might just scratch that itch. First up on our list is the Magic World 2 Curse of the Ancients, and this one's pretty much the closest thing out there right now to Might and Magic 6, 7, and 8. It's a first-person, party-based RPG with a full 4-character squad, just like the classics, where you explore a huge open world, crawl through dungeons, fight monsters, and build your team the way you want. What really sets it apart visually is that it's running on Unreal Engine 5, so if you're into photorealistic graphics, this one's easily the best looking game on the list. 4K textures, detailed environments, dramatic lighting, it nails that modern fantasy look while keeping the old school vibe alive. You play as Oleg, the young magic user sent to meet your old master, Nikolai Taran, in a far-off land. From there, it opens up into a massive journey across snowy peaks, burning deserts, ancient castles, and deadly caves. You'll fight off swarms of monsters, solve puzzles, gather loot, and use everything from fireballs to healing spells depending on how you build your party. Combat can be played in real time or turn-based, and survival mechanics are a real factor. Your party needs food and rest, injuries matter, and some fights can absolutely wreck you if you're not ready. The game had a playable demo several months ago, and while development has gone a bit quiet, there's hope it's still moving forward. If it comes back strong, this could be the one that finally scratches that Might and Magic itch in all the right ways. Next up is Wardens of Chaos, a real-time party-based RPG that's clearly inspired by those classic Might and Magic titles, especially 6, 7, and 8. If you loved the feel of exploring sprawling fantasy worlds with a squad of adventurers, this one's right up your alley. You'll gather a party of 4 heroes from a lineup of 10 classes, each with their own mix of magic schools and martial arts skills to master. The lands of Alcinar are huge, full of cities to visit, dangerous dungeons to clear, and tons of side quests alongside the main story missions.
The story pulls you into a dark conspiracy as you fight to save the world from looming disaster and get some sweet revenge on the enemies who destroyed your home city along the way. Combat here is strictly real-time, no turn-based option, so you'll need to think fast and manage your party's skills in the heat of battle. The game gives you freedom to explore almost anywhere, so there's very little hand-holding. You decide when and where to take on quests, monsters, or hunt for powerful artifacts. Character progression is solid, with 9 different magic schools and lots of martial disciplines to level up. You earn experience through battles and quests, then spend points to boost your skills from novice all the way to Grand Master. It's all about customizing your squad and building them exactly how you want to tackle the challenges ahead. If you're into real-time combat and deep party customization with that classic Might and Magic vibe, Wardens of Chaos is definitely worth keeping an eye on.
Titans of the Past, a true love letter for fans of old-school hardcore RPGs. Drawing inspiration from classics like Wizardry, Might and Magic 6, 7, and 8, The Bard's Tale, Eye of the Beholder, and Legend of Grimrock, it brings that intense dungeon crawling vibe back, but with a few modern twists. The game delivers a first-person dungeon crawl, where you control a full party just like the classics, but here's the twist that sets it apart. Time only moves when you move. Imagine a blend of Superhot's time-freezing action with tactical RPG combat. Enemies charge, spells fly, and arrows arc, then everything freezes mid-motion until you take your next step. This makes combat feel really solid, unique, and strategic. You can dodge an arrow in slow motion or carefully line up a mage's area of effect spell. We played the demo ourselves and it felt polished and genuinely fun to play. While the dungeon crawling and party management will remind you of Might and Magic, the overall game design takes cues from roguelikes like Slay the Spire. Instead of a fixed map, you progress through a branching path filled with fights, shops, town upgrades, and random events. This keeps every run fresh and packed with meaningful choices. You'll build your dream party of warriors, mages, rangers, and more, equipping them with procedurally generated gear as you hunt for that perfect weapon or armor. Between adventures, you return to your town hub, which grows and upgrades with you. New buildings unlock permanent buffs, extra classes, crafting options, and other cool features, adding a satisfying layer of meta progression that makes you want to keep going for just one more run. There's no official release date yet, but if you're into retro dungeon crawlers that honor their roots while adding clever modern mechanics, Titans of the Past should definitely be on your radar. It's a game that feels both familiar and fresh, a rare combo these days. Make sure to wishlist it on Steam and keep an eye on this one. Currently, Titans of the Past is still in development with no firm release date, but if you're after a retro dungeon crawler that honors its roots while innovating with smart mechanics and modern design, this is definitely one to watch and wishlist on Steam.